Hi, I'm Carrie Krause. I'm a violinist and artistic director of Baroque Music Montana, and this here is my great friend John Lenti, who is visiting from Seattle, and he plays the lute and guitar and theorbo. And we are here today to share with you a little chatting about Monteverdi's amazing opera Poppea. So, opera was somewhat important to the Baroque period and Monteverdi's operas in particular. So, John, why was that?
Well, Monteverdi was one of the inventors of opera, and it was a terrific source of income for him, among other things. And I
Oh,
think he
that's good
also
to know.
was enjoying enjoying getting to explore a new art form. It was an age of experimentation,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody loved it. Monteverdi wrote what's generally thought of as the first great opera in the early 1600s,
That
and
was Orfeo,
that was Orfeo. And
one
that,
of three Orfeos,
yes, yeah, it
technically.
was a very popular subject. It's about a singer. So, it kind of makes sense. Uh, which opera doesn't always. It's one of those funny things is that people don't actually burst into song in day-to-day life. But at any rate, yeah, so he wrote the first great opera in the early 1600s, and the art form caught on to such an incredible extent. All of a sudden, it was a terrific business to be in. And so he wrote several more operas through the course of his career, culminating in the Coronation of Poppea,
His final one.
his final opera and his last work of any kind, as far as we know.
Mm-hmm. Right. And opera was pretty significant in sort of the definition of the start of the Baroque period
Yes, it was.
because it allowed for the kind of emancipation of the singer to be more virtuosic and more expressive
Yeah,
with this very kind of open-ended accompaniment.
right.
The basso continuo line, which was basically improvised, allowed the singer, the melody line to be expressive, like very
Yes.
emotionally expressive.
Well, and telling these stories in a big and expressive way and making much more theatrical music than had ever been made before was kind of, what all the opera composers of the time were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can see in Monteverdi's operas that with his very first opera, Orfeo, it tells a beautiful story, but the people are a little bit, there's literally nothing wrong with the opera, but the people are a little bit two-dimensional in an interesting kind of a way. It's very, very beautiful, but by the time you get to Popea, they are expressing themselves very freely. They're expressing themselves in great, big, human sorts of ways. And so it becomes, with this particular opera, I'd say it's pretty much it's maybe the first opera that tells an incredibly painful and human story, but in a very human way with
They're not
very
just like
well-defined
they're not
characters.
just like Greek statues anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very, very expressive.
I think it's also the first opera based on historical figures.
Ah, real
Yeah,
people.
so everybody in this opera is a real person,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that might have something to do with why it has this unbelievable power.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.